So this is Alicia Perez. I hope I'm saying her name right. She's a mom of two who has had her children wrongfully removed by Child Protective Services. This is her username down here, so by all means, go follow her page. So I've had to piece together information from multiple creators on top of what was provided on her GoFundMe page. So from what I gather, she's been on parole since 2017 for some, prior drug charge. But in the past 5 years, she hasn't actually violated parole. Now, mind you, one of the conditions of her parole was monthly drug tests. In 5 years, she hadn't popped positive once for having drugs in her system. Now, fast forward to May 2021, she's living in Alabama with her husband and her 2-year-old daughter. Now, I don't know if there was a prior history of abuse, but an incident happened and he shot her in the leg, and it resulted in her leg having to be amputated. While in the hospital, she found out she was pregnant with her second child. After being released a month later, she took her 2-year-old and fled to Texas to try to hide from her abuser. To further his abuse, he began making false claims to her parole officer, which resulted in her being arrested and held for 17 days while awaiting trial. Once she had trial and they figured out all the claims were false, all the charges were dropped. Unfortunately, when she was arrested, CPS stepped in, took custody of her 2-year-old, and then gave the baby girl to the abuser's sister. So a month later, mom's finally given her hearing to try to get custody of her daughter back. But the judge only issues an injunction that states her and the abuser have to stay 100 yards away from each other. And then she has to abide by monthly drug tests in order to get custody of her daughter back, which she was already doing anyway as part of her parole. Now, mind you, the abuser was still living in Alabama, but after the injunction had been put in place, between July and December of 2021, he started showing up in front of her house in Texas, started stalking her and harassing her. Mom's got video evidence of this guy driving past her house multiple times. He admitted to stealing her car and even showed up at the CPS office and got into this big altercation with the person that dropped her off for her visit with her own child. So after each incident, mom called the police and was repeatedly told there was nothing that they could do because it was just an injunction. That if she actually wanted the abuser arrested, she would have to go get a protective order. So in December, her attorney filed for an emergency protective order.